Should be a slugfest. We'll see how the two runners. I've seen a little bit of Skawttie. I've seen plenty of Jackimus, obviously a veteran of the tournament. Kind of have an understanding of how he's going to be playing. Will be coming from the second player side, something that you don't see from too many runners, becoming a little bit more popular nowadays, actually. We've been seeing it from Jackimus. We see it from Aquas, our boy Prince Leaf in the chat. That second player strat, nice little strat. I kind of sometimes I think about going to it, but it'll definitely be interesting how the whole shot works here.
Looks like, unfortunately, Jackimus did not start his timer, so we're going to have to rely on Skottie's timer to get everything underway. Both of them do have their razor shields. Foot for Skawttie, a smart bomb for Jackimus. Jackimus, of course, going to ignore that, but Skawttie going to pick up the foot.
Yeah, beyond the razor shield that they're going to be manipulating for first, that foot comes nicely in handy. Just in case, you get a smart bomb that's not directly in the center there, you're able to run to it. You're able to carry the foot into this next room, too, make it a little easier to move around, and hopefully get to something like an orb or a rockets as your first drop here.
Skawttie with the hole shot with the 40, Jackimus with the 41 in to collect power-ups. The all-important first drop is going to mean everything for both these runners. A foot for Skawttie, nothing to write home about. Invulnerability, Jackimus can use that to tear off some of these foot soldiers, so neither player really getting any drops early on.
Yeah, and then the nuke there for Jackimus, gonna ignore that. Invulnerability way too far in the corner for Skawttie. So both these guys just gonna be kind of working the center as best they can, trying to maybe manipulate some drops here. The spreader there for Skawttie, so at least a little something, and the orb there for Jackimus. So definitely gonna be having some firepower moving forward here for Jackimus.
It wasn't the easiest grab either there for Jackimus, and we have a dead heat, 129 apiece. It was in a tough spot for Jackimus. It was right on a mine, but Jackimus was able to sneak in and grab it. But yeah, Skawttie needs to find an orb fast because those 18 shrapnel dudes have to be taken down. You can only have 4 on the screen at once, so you want to make sure damage control is key. And if you're not getting that orb, you better have weapons. Otherwise, you're going to get overpowered. And there's an orb for Skawttie. Can he get to it? He does.
Yeah, he actually was focusing down that shrapnel at first, was wondering if he was going to see it. And you saw that to your point, those shrapnel built up early, but yeah, now Sky's going to have it in control. Jackimus ended up losing the orb. I didn't quite catch how that happened. Unfortunate for Jackimus. That is going to be a potential shift here in the tides.
Yes, because the longer Jackimus goes without an orb, Skottie's going to take that lead. He's now 3 seconds back because, again, Skawttie did let the shrapnel get a little bit out of control, whereas Jackimus was able to keep him playing. Look at this. Jackimus getting a second chance, or will he get to it? He does not. He missed it.
Oh, my. I'm very surprised by that. That's having the rockets, felt like he was going to lock that down and just parlay that right into the orb. Did not do it, though.
I think the problem was that Mr. Shrapnel just got in the way and he was not able to grab it. He looked like he might have had a shot and he missed it by about a frame or so. Tough break there for Jackimus, but gets another orb.
Game being a little kind here, giving Jack another opportunity, but he loses it. Oh, the green is kind of sneaking through.
Kind of makes you wonder if Jackimus is having these game one jitters because he's making some uncharacteristic mistakes here right now, Taps.
Yeah, sometimes, if you're not able to get a proper warm-up in beforehand, yeah, you just kind of get a little loose with it, not really getting the timing down. Skawttie with a 3:19 going to the secret room. Very nice.
Yeah, he's going to take the lead. He's going to turn that 3-second deficit into about an 8-second lead as we have some Taco Bell product placement with Taco Bell. Ugh. Indeed. So Skawttie with the orb intact. However, look at Jackimus. He does have most of a rocket clip to take with him to start tank trouble, and that could be a turning point here. Skawttie does get a spreader. He'll be able to take down one of the gunners. Now he gets rockets, but will he be able to get to that? It's in a tough location, and the foot soldiers take away his orb. That was just and then he gets clubbed down, and Jackimus, with the rockets that he had in hand, takes down both of the gunners, and we're going to see him probably retake the lead.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Oh, except the tank rolling right through, getting that diagonal shot and getting Jackimus surprisingly there. It's one of those things when you don't have an orb going in this room, a little bit freeing. You don't have to worry about the orb getting taken from you right away. And with that almost full salvo of rockets there from Jackie, able to get the gunners taken care of right away, hold the center, is able to just keep working these weapons.
And Jackimus has been getting great weapon drop. Skawttie ignored an orb because it was in a very bad spot. He didn't want to give up his rockets. And indeed, we have another lead change. Jack was back in the lead, but not by much. It was a 438 for Jack. Skawttie just able to get the Mr. Shrapnel down. 447, 9 seconds. Still anybody's game taps.
Absolutely. First drop here. Getting rockets for Jackimus. Already able to clear the gunners there. Just going to keep pounding those in. Gets the lobbers too. Your second best weapon for this fight. Is able to get some nice lobbers. Really hitting that spot nicely. Grenades there for Skawttie. Seed spread.
This could be a tough one because he could get blocked. Is he going to get to it? No. Yeah. Jackimus with the rockets. A bad break there for Skawttie. Gets another spreader, but has to go manual this time. This is going to be tough. He's looking for the invulnerability now. But whatever it is, Mutual Man's parking on. He's got a little bit of manual, but not much. Jackimus, meanwhile, gets a spreader of his own, and he'll be able to jam it in with another spreader.
Yeah, spreader. He backs up into it. I wonder if he was going to try to take a death. Goes for the manual anyways. Has it down to the second to last form here, so not bad at all from Jackie.
Couldn't get to those rockets in time, though, so he's going to have to wait for another drop. And it looks like, yes, Mutroid was sitting on it. It's grenades. Skawttie with both arms popped up, but he finds himself 2 full forms down. Jackimus now with a lobber refill. Skawttie with the lobber, but right now it looks like advantage Jackimus as he sees the spreader. Final form. Skawttie needs a spreader now if he wants a chance. If this is a spreader, but it's a foot. Oh,
the
man.
empty drop there. Hate to see that. That would have probably got him a chance to get into the same form here as Jackimus, but Jackimus able to get the lobbers, is going to get those. That clip might have done it, but gets rockets anyways, and just finished off with the rockets. So game 1 will go to Jackie.
If I tell you what, your prognostication came true, at least for game number 1. You said that the luck was going to turn around for Jackimus. He got the drops. Skawttie did not, and Jackimus will win game number 1.
You know, some, and not just in Mutoid there, some fortunate drops. Jackimus getting multiple orbs through that run. Dropped some early ones that you would not expect from a player of his caliber, and was able to, make the best of what was given. Obviously, a really good spreader there at one point for Jackimus. So able to finish off nicely. Some lobbers here from Skawttie. Probably going to need at least one more lobber, maybe a couple weapons here to get done.
And Jackimus was a sub-2-minute Mutroid man fight. That is definitely in play. I mean, you have a 4-minute entry that that's your sub-6 right there. So yeah, really, really good run overall. In spite of the early struggles he had, I mean, Jackimus really played well from Tank Trouble and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with you get used to having, orbless runs and that sort of thing, but I think one thing that you expect from, the good runners not to drop orbs, but the good runners have the ability to have just like, a really bad drop of the orb. Something happened, a shrapnel hits you in the wrong place, and are able to really bounce back, still maintain center relatively quickly, get another item, and just keep it rolling. Sometimes that first orb loss, and you're just automatically going to get an 8-minute time if you're a player like myself. But some of these good players here, they're able to bounce back right away.
All right, I'm going to get both runners set up for game number 2. Jack is ready, just waiting for the signal from Skawttie, and I will count him down again. We'll get game number 2 underway.
Awesome first game here as we get the second race underway. I'm looking forward to, I honestly think this is a series that could easily go 4 or 5 here. So I'm expecting Skawttie to at least pick up this game or the next. I think I might actually be leaning Skawttie on this one for game number 2. Tie us up at 1-1 going into game number 3. Let us know how you feel in chat. Let's get this going. Should be a great one. And we're just getting started, folks. This is just race number 2 of match number 1 of 3. So a lot more Super Smash TV coming up.
Absolutely. We've got Arena 1 coming up. We have the Razor Shield for both players. So we just need to get the timers in sync, and then we will be in good shape. A foot for Jackimus, which he'll go ahead and pick up. Skawttie got an invulnerability at the next drop. Vulnerability. And let's see who's going to finish off the room. It's going to be Skawttie. Well, again, they're not quite in sync, so it's hard to say. So let's take a look at the numbers as they enter through that door. For Skawttie, it's a low 41. For Jackimus, it's about a mid 41, so maybe a half-second lead for Skawttie.
Yeah, both getting that consistent, I think is something I had mentioned yesterday during our races. that's what you'll typically see. Obviously, you have some runners that could absolutely get those 38s and 39s for sure. But most of the good runners in this, if you're mainly, maintaining in that room, you'll see 40s, 41s all the time. So both these guys showing what they could do. Rockets with the orb on Scottie's side, pretty nice, and nothing yet for Jack.
And Skawttie is going to have what I like to call a hot time. That's sub 80 going into Eat My Shrapnel, 79 seconds. Not to be outdone, Jackimus gets an orb of his own. The weapon's favoring Skawttie, so Jackimus is going to find himself about 9 seconds back. I'll call it 8.5.
And a very subtle move there. Jackie at the very end of that room ends up just backing himself up while he has an orb. Not a lot of runners would probably do that. Oh no, but the swirl takes out the orb. The very last swirl there, but he gets the replacement. But Jackie showing, a little bit of that skill as a veteran will have, but then just getting still, good old RNG screwing him over, as tends to happen.
Jackimus wisely avoiding the smart bomb, but it's Skawttie out first with the 202. Jackimus still has to clean up the rest of the Mr. Shrapnels. I think there's going to be one more now here, and that should be the end of the room. He's going to find himself 9 seconds back at 2:11, and a razor shield for Skawttie to open up total carnage. That's what you love to see.
Yeah, you got to feel comfortable. You get that razor shield. I'm surprised didn't go for the key. Maybe try to manipulate, get some more drops out here. But when you have the orb, you got the razor shield. You're sitting real pretty here in total carnage. Usually able to just work the aisles and get these kill counts up.
Most of that razor shield, though, is about gone, so now he's going to have to find some weapons. That grenade is not going to do it. As Jackimus drops his orb and only gets a foot and almost gets hit by that shrapnel. Now Skawttie, grenades on the feet. That's dangerous, but he's able to get by, and now he's rewarded with rockets. That green shirt tried to get through. The purple shirt tried to get through. Nice stance in there for Skawttie, keeping that orb healthy. Getting close to the end of the room, and this is going to be a great time for Skawttie. That is 3:03 into the bonus room.
Oh, you love to see that. The low 3 minute, the rockets right there. I didn't think the orb was going to stay with him, but was able to carry that. And now 3 bars of rocket ammo, looking free to be able to take out both these gunners and get a solid maintain on this tank trouble room coming up.
Jackimus getting nothing there at 3:26. He's 23 seconds back. As long as Skawttie shoots carefully with those rockets, he should take both of the gunners down, and he does. Well done.
Gets invulnerability. Not actually too bad in this room. If the gunners are still up, you have the ability to ignore their bullets. And of course, you have the ability to ignore the tank bullets, the shrapnel coming in right there. It chooses to ignore it and just kind of maintains, tries to go for the corner and gets back to the center. Jackimus just getting into the room at 3:51, so has some time to make up here.
And these are typical drops that Skattie's getting here, but somehow able to keep that orb healthy and gets rockets, just loses the orb on that, but he should be getting close to the end of the room here. These rockets are going to at least close to carry him. Now he gets a spreader. This may carry him to the end of the room here. Jackimus still getting rockets, and indeed, the spreader does carry Skawttie to the end of the room, and he's going to have a pretty good time, a 4:21. PB is in play for Skawttie if it's under 150.
Yeah, going to be looking, I'm not too sure how much going to be able to get that manual damage here. Gets invulnerability. Oh, that's nice.
Another spreader! Oh my goodness gracious. Not much invulnerability left, though. He's looking for another invulnerability. That would really help him out. He's getting some manual in. Now another spreader, but he will not be able to get to it because Mutoid was parked on it. If he gets another spreader here, though, it's that order of operations. And if you would have gotten to that spreader and then see that invulnerability, oh, man.
That's one of those things, those gunners in the front just always kind of making a nuisance when you get those early spreaders in a situation like that.
Another spreader for Skawttie here as now
Beautiful.
Both arms are popped out. He's going to, and the ribcage falls off as well. Skawttie PB potential. Another spreader for Skawttie. Again, going to have to do manual. How did he not get run over there? I'll never know. There's a lobber, and then he gets run over at that point. So Skawttie needs another weapon here if he wants a chance at that PB. And he gets an empty drop. Come on.
Unfortunate with that invulnerability. That was hilarious. I mean, it's good try to take this. Oh, and then decides against it.
He couldn't take the death. He wanted to take the death, but there was just too much invulnerability left for him to take that death. It's just a really bad break for the Skawttie. He won't be able to PB, but he's still in the lead. Jackimus needs a spreader.
Meanwhile,
he wants to catch up.
Jackimus did have a spreader for a little bit there. Unfortunately, got sabotaged, grabbed grenades, and then got the invulnerability, so that ended up going. But Jackimus did quickly make up a couple forms there. It's still a couple forms off. Skawttie with the lobbers in the final form here. That's exactly what you want to see. Getting some decent damage, missing some shots, though.
The problem is Skattie's missing a lot of shots, and then he gets run over. Now Jackimus to the penultimate form. He's still in this, but it is rockets. I don't know. Will this be enough for Skawttie to finish him off? If it is, we're going to be even at one.
That's what he needed. He needed a spreader to even have a chance here. Can he get to it? He cannot, and Skattie's going to take it anyways. Actually would have closed it out regardless, but that was very close. Jackimus almost got the ideal spreader right there to make up that ground.
And Skawttie got the right weapons he needed to PB. It just didn't quite work out for him, but nonetheless, Tabs, he does even up this match at 1 game apiece.
It all comes down to good old Mutoid right there. So many of those sub-6 potential runs have died to Mutoid, man. I've been there so many times myself, and then you end up with a 630, and you're like, well, okay, that's not too bad a run, but we all know the potential that was there. But I guess I did call that one. We are tied up 1-1 going into game 3. An absolute barn burner of a set. Donnybrook, a slobber knocker, as we like to call it around these parts.
Yeah, no question about it. Yeah, absolutely. And I have seen you play Tabs. Many times you've been but a spreader away from that sub-6. Because I've been watching you play. I see you're closing in. I'm like, spreader. If he gets a spreader, he'll have that transfer damage, and it just doesn't come. You hate to see it.
The thing is, it's as I've gotten used to it so much at this point to where I almost don't even think the spreader's ever going to come. And then when it does, it really shocks the hell out of me. So, But awesome race here from our two runners. This is more or less what I expected. Skawttie, one of our newer runners, has been making a lot of strides, really getting improvements on that PB in that low 6-minute range. Jackimus, one of the old savvy vets, a world record holder for the co-op speedruns of this game with Bryce Solfa and a damn good individual runner himself. So it's really, the classic newbie versus the vet matchup, and these have been good throughout the tournament, so can't be too surprised we're tied up at 1-1 here, honestly.
I have counted them down, Taps, so we're going to get started with game number 3, the pivotal game number 3. And yes, as Prince Leaf says in chat, as Jackimus would say if he was in the commentator's booth, this is now a best of 3.
Good luck.
Yeah, yet again, it's going to be one of those things to where we're going to, looks like a little bit of a desync there. We'll get these guys evened up. Of course, the awesome Mr. Dino 023 in the back, doing all the work, lining us up correctly, and the awesome production that we've seen throughout this tournament, getting us nice and lined up for these races. Always appreciated.
And he's done a phenomenal job bringing the coverage from both of these runners match after match. Not to mention he's in the tournament as well.
Yeah, he just raced me like no problem after doing 4 matches beforehand and running the scene behind the show, then raced me and swept me out. So just the true professional that Mr. Dino is right there. And a very nice time there from Jackimus. Skawttie just behind that.
Yeah, a high 38 for Jackimus. That's a really good time entering Collect Powers. Starting off with rockets, Skawttie gets a spreader, so good drops to open for both. Either player getting that orb, though. Jackimus going to ignore the grenades. And now he gets an orb. The rich getting richer here.
Getting the rockets, getting the orb. Yeah, I mean, this room's pretty much all but done. Maybe going to be trying for maybe a timing on that. Yeah, maybe a little too early for that smart bomb. He might actually been able to cut this room off. He used that smart bomb at the very last moment. But the orb for Skawttie, so evens it up here.
Skawttie's going to find himself double digits behind already. Does get Rockets to finish up the room, but he's going to be about 12 seconds back at 1:33. Unfortunately, Jack dropped the orb.
Oh, that's it right there. Skawttie should be able to clear this out with no problem with the Rockets and the orb. Loses his orb, though. Oh, no, the circle.
Wow, the swirls mean business here. I've never seen the swirls be deadly in Eat My Shrapnel like they've been in this match. It's been ridiculous.
The opening to the rooms here and into total.
Oh, look at this! Skawttie gets his orb back.
Wow, with the razor shield right before it. So yeah, gonna be sitting pretty. Doesn't even have to. Oh, but gets grenades on the feet. Don't really like to see that. We'll just expel that ammo and be able to still maintain. Jackimus able to get through though at a.
Look at this. Though. It was 2:08. Skawttie did gain some time down to a 2:17. So cut 3 seconds there.
Jackimus able to get the razors though, gets the rockets, has a spreader right there, might go for it. It does wait till the very last moment, then picks up the spreader, because why not? That's a weapon for you. But you don't have the orb, you're at least getting a little something with the spreader here.
Yeah, Jackimus going on the offensive, and now he gets an orb of his own. Now can he get the middle? Scottie's done a good job keeping the middle with what he's been given to him. He's not really been getting any weapons to go with that. Now he gets a key! Jackimus getting a foot. Now the weapon's drawing up for both players.
Yeah, the orb able to.
Wow.
Ooh, the razor.
Second razor shield of the room for Jackimus. That's rare.
Ooh. And Skawttie loses his orb going for that spreader in the corner. That was probably a little too close to the wall, a little too close to some shrapnel. Loses it there, is able to get a spreader, so should be able to finish out the room, but it's going to be an orb down here, going into the bonus.
Well, he's going to be losing a lot of time here. No swirl of shame, though, but he's going to have no weapon. Jackimus has some kind of weapon left in this grip. 15 seconds behind is Skawttie, and as you mentioned, no orb, no weapon. Jackimus a little bit of clip left. I don't know if it's a spreader or rockets, but he has a little bit left.
Spreader, I believe, and should be able to maybe, is going to use that on the swarmers instead of the gunners. You're not really going to be doing too much of the gunners. There's only a bar of that ammo anyways. So just decides to take out, try to maintain the center. Javmax is one to work with the gunners, but gets shot up right there, loses it. Unfortunate, but gets the rockets to take him out.
Well, Skawttie gets an invulnerability, which is good to have when you don't have an orb. He'll be able to take out both of the gunners. I thought he would be able to take down both the gunners, but this spreader, spreader will do the trick for him. Jackimus gets his orb and a razor shield back. Skawttie gets an orb of his own, and he'll be able to take that. Now, will he be able to control the middle and maybe put a dent into Jackimus's lead? That's going to be hard to say at this point. No, he doesn't. He loses the orb. Jackimus just about done with tank trouble, and he is going to be in the lead into the Mutoid Man fight at 425.
Yeah, that was a tough draw for Skawttie there. Got the orb, and as getting back into position, really the tank comes from the one place you don't want to see it, which was that north door right there. Really makes it hard to get back in appropriately, so had to kind of back off, lost the orb, unfortunately. Gets it back right here. It gets Rockets. If able to maintain, unfortunately, loses the orb again, but Rockets should help get the room finished up.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on there, but Skawttie did manage to pick up the Rockets, which is going to finish up the room, and he'll have a little bit left for the beginning of the Mutoid Man fight, but he finds himself 32 seconds back.
I'd buy that for $1.
And Jackie is getting some weapons here early on. Gets an arm pop, gets some grenades. Unfortunately, empty drop right there. Does get the grenades. Should be close to a second arm pop, so it's going to be about 2-4-ish lead here.
Not over yet. It's a 2-form lead now. He's got the gunners off the Skawttie, but he's looking for a spreader to get back into this one. Empty drop for Jackimus, a refill on the lobbers for Skawttie. Rockets now for Jackimus. Not really the... Oh, no, and Skawttie gets run over with a lot of that clip left with an empty drop. That may be a problem. He needs a spread, and he gets another empty drop.
Oh, these invulnerabilities, just not the time you want to see them. Very unfortunate death right there. Just kind of ran himself into the treads. Does get a couple lobbers, though. The spreader there for Jackimus, but because not first player, isn't able to really... Doesn't even go for it at all, actually. Mutoid just sat right on it, didn't even give it a chance.
Well, now an empty drop for Jackimus. Skawttie still has some time, but he needs to see a spreader right now.
Yeah, either that or a lot of empty drops for Jackimus, but gets the lobbers. is able, and with the refill, is actually going to be able to potentially get this thing wrapped up right here.
Yeah, provided that Jack lands his shots, now he gets his spreader in a perfect position when it doesn't matter. Skawttie now at the rib cage, but he's out of time as Jackimus takes down Mutoid Man and is just one game away from advancing to the next round of the second chance bracket.
The lobber's really coming into play for Jackimus there. Wasn't able to get any significant spreader work done, but the lobbers, there's a reason why they were the best weapon before the spreader manipulation was really found. You're still getting a lot of damage. You land those in the right place. Jackimus is a fairly accurate lobber there, able to really hone in some damage on Mutoid Man and just maintain that lead he had built up.
Skawttie has played this Mutoid Man very, very well, but again, it came down to tank trouble, and Jackimus's tank trouble was by far more superior than Skattie's. Built that lead on him, and it was more than enough to take down game number 3.
And I honestly feel like that's one of the advantages that some of these the savvy vets have. When you've played the Mutoid Man so many times over, you've experienced the worst of the worst probably. You've seen some of the best, and you're able to really deal with that large gray area that is in between for Mutoid Man, where he kind of screws you over, kind of doesn't. I think Jackimus dealt very, very well without getting a spreader, but still like, all right, you're going to just give me lobbers? I'm just going to get you that way, and does a very good job with that. So Jackimus taking our second game there of this best of 5. Let's see if Skattie's able to even this up going into a game 5, or if Jackimus is able to close this out with a 3-1.
Yep, if Skawttie does not win game number 4, his tournament will be over with, and Jackimus will move on to the next round of the second chance bracket. I'm getting both of these runners ready to go. Jackimus is all set. Skawttie is all set, so you know what? I'm going to count them down.
All right, sounds good, Cards. Thank you very much for taking care of that, and I am looking very much forward to this game right here. I think again, it's a very close matchup between these two. I think the veteran status might help Jackie. I think Jackie's going to close it out here with a 3-1. That's going to be my guess early on.
I think you're going to be right about this, but I think this one's going to be close. The wins that Jackimus has had, they've been comfortable, 30-some seconds. I think this one could come down to a Mutoid Man sabotage.
Maybe a little park job, maybe a couple invulnerabilities, something like that. Absolutely.
Something is going to happen. But who knows what's going to happen as we begin game number 4. Skattie's got to win this one to keep his tournament hopes alive. Jackimus wins. He moves on to the next round.
Razor Shield as expected from these two. Jackimus, this is kind of a comparison we talked about a little bit yesterday. Going a little bit more aggressive, kind of running that Razor Shield into the door. I think Skawttie really held the center, but as you see, Skawttie maintained very well there. Is going to get the whole shot.
Indeed he is, by about, I'd say, 3/5 of a second, give or take.
Just about.
So it's going to be a very important first drop for both these runners. A Razor Shield, good start, but rockets for Jackimus. Not to be outdone, though, Taps. Skawttie gets an orb.
Orb, Razor. Oh, yeah, you just go out there, you grab that, and you're feeling real good about this room now.
And Jackimus getting one.
And there you go. Razor Shield. Jackimus is going to be able to do fine. Yeah, really is able to kind of pepper those rockets, conserve that ammo as best as he can, and then, yeah, uses that Razor again as a weapon.
We are, again, Skawttie still about that 3/5 of a second lead, so they were pretty even now going into Eat My Shrapnel, but no orb for Jack, and that could be a concern.
Skawttie making sure to maintain that orb. Now make sure I'm going to clear this half circle before I make any movement. Usually a good call in this room and in total carnage there. Gets rockets as well. This is going to just decimate this room here. And rockets again for Skawttie.
Skattie's cup floweth over with more vitamin R, doing some damage with the rockets. The foot soldiers should be gone, and they are indeed. Just has to take now the rest of the shrapnel. I don't think he's going to have enough to clear them all, but he's going to be in great shape here. That's it. 2:03 for Skawttie, and that lead is widening considerably. Still no orb for Jackimus. He's going to find himself 7 seconds back, Taps.
Yeah, I mean, the power-ups are flowing for Skawttie right now, and it's dry as the Sahara over for Jackie right now. Just trying to get it done. Just get rockets that help.
Possible turnover because we have rockets and an orb. Skawttie not really getting any weapons to complement his orb, and he's doing a lot of dancing, trying to keep that orb healthy. Jackimus out of the rockets now and gets an empty drop. Skawttie getting an empty drop, so it's hard to say at this point. I would think here's a spreader for Skawttie.
This is one of those things. I think Jackie's going to have some pretty consistent control of the center here. Is able to just really make this work with just the orb. The power-ups are really going to be something that Skawttie will help because, yeah, a little bit, not quite in the center as Jackimus is right now. Jackimus getting the rockets, finishes off at a low 3 here.
Wow, he gained all that time back. 3:04, Skawttie still in it, though, with the 3:08. Jack has a little bit of rocket left in that clip. Should take out at least one gunner.
And I think for Jackie, that's all. Like, Jackimus will operate with 2 gunners on the board and still do pretty well in this room. So taking out one's going to even be more of an advantage. I think Jackimus will be comfortable just taking out 1 gunner here and then just starting to clear the room as we deal with some product placement from Taco Bell.
Indeed, Jackimus has rockets now. Ooh, this is good. The rockets wasn't able to take. He must have 1 shot left.
That is, yeah, it just must have grazed. I'm very surprised that didn't take it out, but yeah, we'll be able to get it with the 2 smart bombs.
Ooh, rockets, a chance for Skawttie. Can he get back to the middle and keep that orb? He does. Good job. Good patience.
Great timing. Yeah, great patience. Great timing there from Skawttie. Able to just take it easy, keep it in the corner.
Jackimus getting overwhelmed. That was a good use of the smart bomb there. Skawttie getting a little bit too close to that purple. Gets a razor shield, though, and a spreader for Jackimus. This could be close going into Mutoid, man. I told you this was going to be close, and we may deliver here.
Some absolutely fancy footwork from Skawttie there, able to maintain, keep that orb healthy, gets a razor shield, is going to finish off this room. Jackimus in there at a sub 420. Skawttie going to be in there at a 424.
6 seconds. Taps, that's 1 empty drop right there. This could be a photo finish. Here we go.
Ooh, that orb getting taken from Jackimus early. No ball buster for him. And then the gunner gunning him down. That could be big right there, right off the bat. Skawttie might be able to take advantage with this.
Yeah, and it's a lobber for Jackimus. That would have been a spreader. He might have had a chance to maybe take a lead, but not to be. And Skawttie, good opportunity here. He's got a spreader.
I can't believe it. The gunner worked out and actually got him to death as soon as possible right there. Absorbed the shot, get some decent shots in. Maybe backed off a little soon right there, but gets a grenade. Is able to take out the gunner. Gonna take another
step. This is dangerous, though. He could park on it. He doesn't. He cooperates.
Oh, that's a nice. What a move. And Skawttie.
Can he get to it?
Can he get to? Oh, he tried.
No!
I can't fault him for trying on that. Sees the invulnerability, sees the light at the end of the tunnel, able to use potentially all the rest of that spreader as some good damage, but doesn't get it. He doesn't go for the death. He's going to go for manual.
Yeah, that was a long ways to go. You can't fault Skawttie here. We are close, though. Skawttie in the lead. Jackimus is about a form back. An empty drop, though, for now lobbers. Skawttie, where is that drop? Where is it? It's lobbers. He's able to get to it.
We're tied up on form, though. Both the runners with lobbers, then have rockets.
Oh, but final form. Jackimus needs a spreader here, or empty drops. Final form for both. Oh, this is going to come down to the wire. Advantage Skawttie with the weapons, though. As long as he doesn't get zapped, it's a lobber for Skawttie. It's grenades for Jackimus. No! Lobbers, he's parking on it, though. And it's Skawttie!
Skawttie takes it, clutch grab. Is able to dance around the lasers from the final form right there, grabs the lobber, secures the victory. Well done by Skawttie for game number 4.
And it's a 6:19, just 9 seconds off of his PB. What a run for Skawttie. Jackimus 5 seconds behind. I told you it was going to be close, but I didn't expect Skawttie to pull it off. But I'm glad he did, because that means we have the rubber game Tapatio, game 5, for all the marbles.
You gotta love it, opening up with a game 5 to stay in the tourney. This is big money right here, big prizes, as we've mentioned throughout this tournament. A lot of cash, a lot of prizes on the line for these runners. These guys might be up for the best match of the series, too. That's a nice little cash bonus. Whew, what Absolutely. A game. Let's go.
Yeah, you're talking about the cash and prizes involved in this tournament. There's more than $500 worth between cash and prizes for the top 12 finishers. And of course, you mentioned there were prizes available for the best match, best improvement. There is a lot of stakes here, but one of these players is going home at the end of this game. I'm going to get them ready.
Absolutely. Card's going to be taking care of that. I thought Jackie might be able to close that out, but Skawttie played that very well. Excellent job with the drops on Mutoid Man right there.
And I'll tell you what, if Skawttie wouldn't have gotten run over by Mutoid Man going for that invulnerability with some of that spreader kill left, he'd have PB'd.
Yeah, that's one of those ones. I mean, I completely understand the move. He's like, I can maybe sneak behind Mutoid here with the last little bit of the invulnerability. I have half clip of spreader. This is gonna get me the PB. If he gets that invulnerability, is able to use that is a PB. So I see it where Scottie's going there, but still was able to clutch it out. It
was a fantastic run for both players. It's just a shame we're gonna see somebody eliminated in the next 6-7 minutes.
Quite the shame that they're going to be out of the tournament after putting on such a match. I wish we had a bonus bracket, but here we go. Game number 5. Let us know who you think is going to win in chat.
Channel prediction, somebody post it, because this one is, as Bryce Wolf says, as you've been saying, this has been a slobber knocker of a match. I can't even predict who's going to win this one. This is anybody's game right now. No, all bets are off.
Well, I predicted Jackimus to win Game 4 as a savvy vet. I am going to stick with it for Game 5. I think there will be a little bit of maybe shenanigans from Mutoid not giving us everything. He's going to get the whole shot here at an excellent time. Oh, Jackimus.
Yeah, 39.5 versus about a 43. Already is ahead by 3.5 seconds, which may not seem like a lot, but that last match, Tabs, was a 5-second affair.
Gets the orb drop immediately. Jack got to love to see that. Gets
and
Razor
now
too.
A Razor Shield. If he gets Rockets as the next drop, I'm throwing it. Oh, but he ignores the Razor Shield. Interesting.
Very surprising because Jackimus will use that as an offensive weapon as well. So would have been really no shame in grabbing that, but gets the room done with anyways, and he's looking at sub 120.
117. Oh, that's a hot time. Even with no weapons, that orb just doing all of the damage for Jackimus. And right now, he means business. He's already ahead by 12 seconds on Skawttie.
Using that spreader, able to get a couple of shrapnels there, really keeping those numbers clean. This should be no problem of room as long as you don't let one of those swarmers just kind of randomly get to you. Razor, Rocket, Orb on Scottie's side though, so sitting pretty over on that side as well. Should be able to keep up with Jackimus here.
Yeah, the game is trying to see to it that we're going to have a close game number 5 here, but as long as Jackimus has the room under control, he's still going to lead by at least 12 seconds.
And given what was, has been dropped so far, Skawttie really not a bad time at a 212 here.
Though, he lost 3 seconds of that lead. Wasn't able to keep the shrapnel under control. 203 versus a 212. So Skawttie did a much better job in eating my shrapnel, to keep pace.
That must have been right at the beginning, or maybe midsection of the room. I was surprised because I thought Jackimus actually controlled those numbers. Must have missed that. But able to control the center right now. Skawttie and Jackimus with invulnerability with the orb. Razor, though, for Jackimus, going to help out maintain that grenade. Skawttie doesn't want any part of that.
Yeah, grenades that go all over the place, and you're more vulnerable to lose your orb. A foot for Skawttie, nothing to write home about. Rockets for Jackimus. So far the drops, but here comes Rockets for Skawttie, able to maintain there. That purple shirt got dangerously close. That shrapnel got dangerously close as Jackimus sub 3 into the bonus room. A little dangerous there by Skawttie. I thought he was going to drop that orb for a second. It's the end of the room for Skawttie. No weapons for either, and he's going to be about 13 seconds back. Oh, Taco Bell. Product placement with Taco Bell. So here we go. And look at this. RNG favoring the favorites, giving Jackimus the Rockets. Takes down. Wow. Just great stuff here. Skawttie needs a rocket. needs rockets.
I was about to say in that Total Carnage, Skawttie showing off his dancing shoes, doing very well there. But it doesn't matter how well you dance if you're just getting the best drops available. JackimusWedge taking advantage of those rockets.
Skawttie gets rockets, but one drop too late as he drops the orb, getting overwhelmed with his first drop being invulnerability. Now he gets invulnerability, which will help him when he doesn't have the orb. JackimusWedge, a spreader in hand. This could close out the room. It does close out the room, and he's got a 403, a high 403. PB's in play for Jack.
JackimusWedge PB on the board. I didn't expect this potentially. This is looking pretty nice. The spreader there, at least just one bar of clip, so able to just deal with the swirl there. Try to take out these gunners with the key drop, unfortunately.
Doesn't get the ball buster, unfortunately. Does take down both of the gunners. He needs a 151 or better Mutoid Man fight to secure a PB. His PB 555.
And Scottie's got to be feeling the pressure. Does get Razor, does get Orb. Gonna try to finish out this room, but it's gonna be like a 440 something right now.
It's not over by any stretch of the imagination. He is 43 seconds back, but he's gonna need. There's a spreader for JackimusWedge in a perfect position.
Mutoid can't even block it because it's in such a perfect position. Like, thank you very much. There goes the chest. There goes the head. Second to last form. Glitchoid there for
JackimusWedge, the PB chance is real! He's on the penultimate form! This could put him to the final form if he gets a spreader right now and that doesn't pop. It does pop though, so watch it be a spreader. Nope, lobbers. PB is real for JackimusWedge. He's at 520. Remember, 555 is his PB.
He has a refill.
Lobber, but it's in a bad spot.
Yeah, refill's in a terrible spot.
No, he won't get to it. The next drop, as long as it's not empty, please, game. It is another lobber.
He
can finish him off. He can finish him off.
Ooh,
Just a few. He's going to get it. PB for JackimusWedge. PB for JackimusWedge.
Absolutely amazing. This is when's the last time Jack PB'd? It's been like a friggin' year.
Forever. He's going to get a 546, just 5.8 seconds short of the tournament record. JackimusWedge by over 8 seconds, a new PB. Unbelievable.
And we're so hyped on JackimusWedge side. I mean, Skottie's actually been killing it on this run right here. I mean, he has Mutoid down to second to last form here. Surprisingly at about 5 minutes, but gets some empty drops. Gets the lobbers, gets it down to final form. Hopefully be able to close it out with another lobber here, a couple weapons.
Tapatio, that was his first PB since February 22nd, 2019. 26 months between PBs, and that's going to put him in the top 10 ahead of Sexy.
And just like Indy, shoots down Mutoid Man for that PB.
I don't know if he would have gotten the PB if he would have gotten those lobbers at the end, or the tournament PB rather. I don't think he would have gotten it. I think it would have mattered. But JackimusWedge putting absolute fire out in game number 5. Skawttie played as well as he possibly could. He just ran into a buzzsaw.